And welcome back to another one with me, Wayne. If you're new here, I am attempting to collect the full PS1 PAL UK set. As you can see, there is 998 of them behind me. This lot here in front of me takes me way past the 1,000 mark I set myself for the end of the year. So yeah, I'm just going to get into it. There's a lot here to show you, and I don't want this video to go for too long. I know some of you folk over there are not keen on long form. But before we dig into everything I have a parcel from everyone's favourite Red Shop. A Vinted parcel, which has got a very pricey game in there, so hopefully the condition is great. If not, you can watch me whinge about it. But either way, at least if I do whinge about it, I've got proof that it wasn't as described. And a parcel from Donald Mackerel, and in here there's an item that he reassures me that I will love. So let's just get on with it. I have a couple of bits that are not PS1 related, so we'll get onto them. There's only one non-gaming thing, so with that we'll just get that done first, and then it's out of the way. This was a charity shop find for £2 whole, and that is the special edition of Battlestar Galactica, the complete season. I paid £2 for this. The reason it was £2 is because it was missing one of the discs for season 2. Sorry. So I searched high and low, and I say high and low, basically just looked up and down in CEX, and they had the season I needed on Blu-ray, which that is, and it's season 2. One of the discs is missing, so that cost me £3. So I'll just take the disc I need out of there, put it into there, and then I've got a complete set, which will have cost me basically a £5. And then I guess I'll sell that privately, because CEX don't give good trades on DVDs and Blu-ray anymore. I think they offered me like £18, £20, something like that for that, and I think I could probably sell it for double that on eBay, so I'll just do that. Yeah, so that's no more non-gaming related stuff. A PS2 game I recently found. Again, this was in CEX. It's one that I wanted for the very small amount of PS2 games that I do want, and that's Grandia 2. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's not the most fantastic in here, and I don't have a ring light yet. I'll get one eventually. Yeah, that's awful, isn't it? I played this a few years ago. Somehow the save got corrupted, and I just didn't want to start it again. But now there's this and just the Shadow Hearts games I want, and then that's me done for PS2. I mean, I know a lot of people have a love for the PS2. Not so much me. It was a generation that I skipped on because when it came out, I was of an age where I did other things, let's just say. Excuse me, because let me just move my parcels out the way. But yeah, anyway, the Shadow Hearts games, I'll get them eventually, which you'll find out when I do. Some other charity shop finds from a very different charity shop. Paid £4 for the next 5 items that you're going to see. First up was the strategy guide to the Prince of Persia Sands of Time. That was £2. So I don't normally pick up strategy guides if they're overpriced. In my mind, anything more than a £5 is overpriced in my mind with strategy guides. I just don't have the space to store them. So, but for £2, I thought, why not? And then a bunch of PS3 games that cost me a grand total of 50p each. So with that, we'll just get on to them. Prince of Persia, not the Sands of Time, but it's is it a reboot, a remake? I'm not sure. I know it's this cel-shaded graphic angle going on there. I already have this, but the reason I picked this one up is because it was nicer condition than the one I already had, and it had the manual. Mine didn't. So now I'll just trade in the non-manualed version. A couple of sealed PS3 games, just put them down, which I was never going to refuse to pick up, whether they're any good or not. Diablo 3, brand new and sealed, as you can see the strips there. 50p for a sealed game. I will never open this because I've got the one on PS4, which I believe is better. So I'll probably just put that behind my PS3 games here so it stays away from getting damaged. I'll put that down there. And one more was Final Fantasy 13-2 with the sleeve. Again, brand new and sealed. As you can see, the strip there. My version of this doesn't have this cardboard sleeve. So I may trade my version in and just keep this. I did own this a while back. Sorry, I did play this some while ago, and I didn't like the Final Fantasy 13 games. So, yeah, I've got no incentive to go back to play that. But out of that charity shop find, this game was one that I would never say no to because it was actually on my shortlist. There's a couple of the HD, what do they call them? HD Classics, remasters, whatever, on the PS3 that I'm after. The only ones I'm really after now is the Hitman and Splinter Cell ones. I'll get them eventually, but this one is the Prince of Persia trilogy. I almost bought that from CX a few weeks ago. I saw it there on the shelf and it was nice condition, complete. But this version, again, is nice, complete. So that saves me £28, £27.50, should I say, if you want to get particular. Right, so before we get into the parcels, like say if you've been watching me for any length of time, you'll know I've been getting closer to the 1,000 game mark. Now I've surpassed that target. That target was just one I set myself to try and achieve before the end of the year. And I forget who said it in the comments to a recent video. I'm sorry for forgetting your name, so just let me know in the comments that who it was that said it. Challenge me to get to 1,100 by the end of the year. I don't think that'll be feasible, but I'll try anyway. But I'm just happy to get to 1,000 now. So this game next arrived the day after my last video. So this is game 999, and that is NBA In the Zone 2. There's just something about the artwork on the front of these ones that I really like. Konami ones. There's not much point in showing you the rear on there. It's just a load of jargon and my lighting's not very good. So that's the best I can do with that one. And if you already subscribed to me, you may have seen a community post I did the other day about Game 1000 that I recently purchased. And this is from one of my subscribers and viewers. He reached out to me on Instagram, a couple of months ago now, and he told me about this one game. And then he decided to sell it for whatever reason, but he reached out to me to let me know, and he held it for me because up until recently I weren't in a position to spend the money to buy it. But he saved it for me like an absolute legend, and he even sent it me in a box protector, which makes it even better. So big shout out to Dan from Peterborough. There we go, I wrote it down, my memory's shocking. He didn't want me to say anything more than just Dan from Peterborough, so thank you, Dan. You're an absolute legend. And this game is Soccer Kid. I don't know how many of you folk that are watching me realise how rare this is on PS1. It's a rare one. And again, it's in the box protector, so the reflection might not be right there. But yeah, this is one of those games that's been on my shortlist. Is that the right phrasing? But it was number 5 on the list. Now that's obviously scratched off, so something else has taken its place. But I couldn't be happier at getting hold of this. I just know it's a rare, late generational game. I mean, it says 2002 on the back, so it was obviously 2 years after the PS2 had released. Game SLES 4022. I don't think you'll be able to focus on that, the code there, to see it. But yeah, it's a rare one, and believe it or not, it's one I'm really excited to have. I'm more happy to have this than Castlevania Symphony of the Night, believe it or not. But because that's not actually a rare game, it's just expensive. That is a rare game. And I'll be honest, I did give it a go. After it arrived, I gave it a go. For a simple platformer style game, Jesus, I'm not very good at them, clearly. I died straight away pretty much, but I will give it more time eventually. So there's no more of that stuff there now. So these are all, again, more PS1 games. Some of these you might look at and go, oh, never heard of that. Or you might go, what the hell is that? Most people will have heard of this one. And I think it cost me a grand total of £3. And it's Adidas Power Soccer 2. Yeah, I already own the first one. In my last video, I did get a copy of 98, but it's not got the front inlay. So unless they're complete, they won't go up on here. That's down on the floor on a different area behind me. And there's the rear if the light lets you see it properly. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's technically all of the Adidas Power Soccer games. I'm trying to find the inlay on eBay for the 98 one. If I can't, I'll just buy a complete copy and sell that one on. But yeah, let's just keep going, shall we? This game, I never realised when I ordered it what type of game it was. Apologies, it's got a sticker on the back from our favourite red shop, so let me just take that off so you can see the rear for yourself. Yeah, I never realised it is a fighting game, and I never realised that at the time. But if I'm going to collect all of these, fighting games are included. So it is War Gods, 3D fighting, what? True 3D fighting environment. Yeah, I haven't played it yet. I'm going to test all these after I've filmed this video, but that's as much as I can show you there. The glare's not doing any favours. But it's from Midway and it's a 15, so Midway, they make the Mortal Kombat games, right? So it should be okay. This game, when I ordered it, I never realised it was a double box. And I love a double box, to be fair. I know some people hate them, but I wish all of the PS1 games came in the double boxes, whether they're one disc or multi-disc. There's just something more uniform about that. But yeah, this game is called Assault Rigs. If you can see it, again, my lighting's not fantastic. This is a game from Psygnosis. I'd be honest, when this game arrived and I saw that it was from Psygnosis, I did a little bit of Google research, as it were, to see how many games they had their fingers involved in back in the PS1. And I watched a video from an Irish chap called Sean Shaunson. He did some breakdown of all the PS1 games Psygnosis had a finger in, and it was basically around 63 games during the PS1 generation that these guys were involved in, from Wipeout, Destruction Derby, up to some of the lesser known stuff like Assault Rigs. But yeah, it's a twin double box jobby. The rear, I mean, back in the day, I don't know how anybody decided this would be the game to pick up, because if you look on the back, if it focuses, there's no blurb. The artwork doesn't look on the back. It's just loads of screenshots, and it's all just fire and green lines. Let me see if you can see it better. No, but green lines and fire. That's pretty much the rear of the game. I mean, granted, back in the 90s, I used to pick games up based on what they look like on the back, but I would never have picked it up by that, because it just looks a bit of a mess, to be honest. And now some games that some of you folk might know more about than I do. This game I didn't realise was a light gun game until it arrived, and I read the fact that it uses the Konami Hyper Blaster, one I do not own yet. I believe it's quite expensive on eBay to get one. I don't want to buy one unless it's boxed, though, so that'll be a purchase down the line. And this is Crypt Killer. Yeah, I'll be honest, the rear this is a game I would have picked up back in the day. It does look kind of cool. I'm sorry about the glare off my phone, but yeah, it looks kind of cool. It's just a shame I don't have the gun to play it, but I'm assuming it will work with a controller. I hope so. I'll give it a go. We'll see. Next game. Now, this game, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of the series. Lots of people love it, but it's another fighting game, and I'm just not very good at fighting games. That's why I don't like the series. I'm not saying it's a bad series, because I know it's not. I just suck at fighting games. Tekken 3 was the only fighting game I was much good at, and that is Mortal Kombat 4. So now I only need one more Mortal Kombat game, and unfortunately it's that god-awful Special Forces one, is it, where you play as Jax, the one that's kind of got a green front. Don't know how much of that you'll be able to see. But yeah, surprisingly expensive for a fighting game was that. And the manual weighs an absolute ton. So if you're watching Goblin Retro, I already weighed it. My scales might not be up to your standards, but it weighed 119 grams for reference. Now, a game that I am keen as beans to play, and I watched a video yesterday of someone playing it on YouTube. I can't remember who that was. Oh God, I think it's someone Pixel Paul mentioned and recommended. So I watched him. I think his name's Kai Maffey. Correct me if I've got his name wrong, if you watch this, Paul, or Kai even. But yeah, Metal Slug X. And I know this is one of those games that's kind of highly thought of. I believe it was an arcade game, and it's a shoot 'em up, a side-scrolling shoot 'em up. I'm not very good at those games, but I will give it a go. I'm not sure if you can see much of that. But yeah, this was another one that was quite pricey. I think around £75. So that's that. Anyway, let's just get on to the parcels. Right, I'm gonna open them in order of arrival, because I think that's only fair. So onto the one Mackerel sent me. Let me just get me trusty knife. Bear with me, someone at the door. Sorry about that. Someone was dingling in my doorbell. And funnily enough, it's another game I've been waiting for. So, where were we? Knackered. That's it. The parcel from Mackerel. I'm sorry, my head's not with it today. So, what have we got? He said there was something in there for my missus, and it's a DVD. Daredevil versus Spider-Man. My missus will love that. She's a Marvel nerd. Some games he sent me. Oh, dear me. Right. I'm going to have to put this on. Right. He said he'd sent me something that I might like. As a Yorkshireman, how have I never owned one of these before? So apologies about the hair. I had a shower a while ago, so it looks a bit flat. That's a bit of a play on words, really. Because Donald has sent me a flat cap. I've never worn one of these before. This one is a little big for me, but you know, I might be able to pad it out. Let me know in the comments if I should wear this more often. I mean, I don't know many Yorkshire folk that do wear flat caps myself, apart from some of the old boys in like Barnsley and such. But yeah, I think I'm going to wear it for the duration of this, so you can let me know if you think I should keep it on. But anyway. I'm sorry, I'm laughing more to myself because I can't believe I've never owned one. But here we go. I might look an idiot, but you know, I'm from Yorkshire. You know, that's what we do. I don't know why I'm putting an accent on. But anyway, these two games that I purchased from him that he sent me, along with this, I was not expecting. So thank you, Donald. You're an absolute legend. I do love it. Yeah. Does it suit me? Anyway, on to the games. This is not a fashion parade, is it? Two games I spotted on his Vinted. I just said, you know, I needed these. I'll have them off you. Complete. Nice and complete. Guardian of Darkness. I know absolutely squat about this game. I've never even heard of it prior to seeing it on Mackerel's listings. It's made by someone called Cryo Interactive. Yeah, Cryo Interactive. I believe they're a French developer. I could be wrong. But yeah, there's not a lot, again, on the back giving it away. But the small blurb kind of gives you a bit of a hint to the game. Like a 3D, is it beat 'em up with magic? 3D universe, yeah, possibly. I'll play it and let you know. And the last game from Mackerel is, I can't believe I didn't already have this, because I had this years ago, loved it, no idea where it disappeared to. It's Revolt. Yeah, I remember playing this on the N64. I think the N64 version was a lot better than the PS1 version. But I still think these little remote control vehicle games are pretty good. Like, I remember there's a RC Stuntcopter. I really like that one too. But yeah, there's another two to the collection there. And again, cheers for the cap, Maccas. I think I might have to wear this, whether you guys like it or not. Right, before I get into them other two parcels, this one is the one that just arrived in no protection at all, just a baggie. I'm not turning it upside down because it's got, hang on, I've got a marker. It's got my address and everything on it, so give me a sec. No, riveting stuff watching it, man. Scribble and numbers and letters out. But yeah, anyway, look, it's just in a baggie. There's no protection, so joys, don't you just love it when sellers do that? Let's just get into it and stop the whinging. Well, the case, surprisingly, the case is not damaged, but I can hear the disc rattling around in there. So bear with me. Condition check. Right, this might be going back because Matey has put it through one of those cheap, nasty disc cleaning machines that has left, you might not be able to see it in the lighting. But if you can just make out there, you can just make out those like swirl patterns on the disc. Yeah, the lighting's not going to allow it, but there you go. The whole disc has got them weird little swirl patterns on it from one of them cheap, crappy Amazon, well, they say disc cleaners, but they're more like a disc ruiner, aren't they? Let's be honest. But anyway, the game, strangely, has been avoiding me for quite some time. There's one listing on Vinted, and the guy wants like 70 quid. And there ain't no way I'm paying 70 quid for a Phoenix game. I've just realised what I've just said. Cindy's Fashion World is a Phoenix game, and that's £1,000 game. So yeah, ignore that comment. I'm an idiot. But that game is Wanted. So I assume you play as a cowboy riding a... Is that a cow? A bull? I never realised that before. Is it a bull? Yeah, yeah, I'm going to have to play this. I guarantee it'll be absolute bilge, as is most Phoenix games. But, you know, yeah, we'll give it a go. If it works, that is, because, mate, you sent it me. I'd rather you have not put it through your cheap machine, mate. I'd rather you have just sent it me as is, and I could have got it cleaned professionally by someone with a proper machine. But anyway, I'm going to do the CEX Parcel. I'm going to do the other one last, because that one's got an expensive game in it. And if my hopes and dreams are destroyed, then it's okay, because it's right near the end of the video, so you won't have to hear me whinge forever. So I've got to cut through these nasty tape on the side. It's not one of those peel boxes, unfortunately, for you guys that like that. But I'm not gonna bother doing it properly. We're just gonna go straight through it like that. Right, hang on, let me get me invoice out the way, box out the way, packaging out the way, cardboard out the way. We're getting there. So it's the one thing I can never say bad about CEX is they do package their items 90% of the time properly. Right, case has got a bit of damage, but I do not give a monkeys about a damaged case. Disc condition check. Wow, that looks like it's never been played. Yeah, and it's not been cleaned either. I can tell it's never been through a machine. That'll do me, because the condition of that's great. Manual check, all there. Yep, no rusty staples, which is the biggest annoyance, is when the staples are rusty, which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it in my last video. I bought, I can't remember, I bought a long stapler to replace any staples that I get that are rusted. But anyway, this game, believe it or not, is from the developers of Gran Turismo, and it's called Omega Boost. I know nothing about it, I'll be honest. It looks like a mech game. Yeah, like a mech 3D fighting game. Let's see if you can see it or read any of that there. Don't know if you will be able to, but yeah, Omega Boost. I think, what's the other one? Motor Tune Grand Prix, I've already got that too. So I think they're pretty much the only non-Gran Turismo games from Polyphony, or Polis, however they were called. But anyway, this is the one I've been waiting for quite a few days. It's all there. It did arrive with some, you know, small tears in there. But that's fine, as long as the internals are exactly as described. So I'm going to open this cleanly on camera so you can all see it. And so then if there's any issues, the seller can't complain. So here we go. Right. Package now empty. See you later. Right. There's the one game that I'm going to put it right there so it's still in shot. Maybe. Can I get it so it stays in shot? No. You know what we'll do? I'll put it there, because I don't want to be accused of any issues if there is an issue. I probably look like an idiot with a PlayStation game on my shoulder, but that is fine. I do not care. Right. This is not really easy with a game on your shoulder, I'll be honest. Right, so he has packaged this well, including in some nappy bags, which is new one on me. Right, let's have a look. I knew this disc had a few scratches, so I don't mind as long as it's not deep. Right, the manual's all good. Yep, all complete, no rusty staples. Oh, she's falling. There we go, under my armpit. Now, he said the disc had some scratches, but there's barely any on that. So anyway, I'm going to have to replace the case anyway because it's buggered. But that game, again, seems like it's another mech game and I know nothing about it. It's called Brahma Force. Yeah, I like the artwork, to be fair. That looks really cool and the rear looks alright. I might actually be playing this today. So yeah, Brahma Force. If you know anything about it, please let me know in the comments. I've never even heard of it before, let alone played it. So here we go. We're going to try and finish this shortly because I'm approaching half an hour and it's a long video for some people's attention spans. Right, let's just get into it because this is the reason I bought this particular bundle. Again, it's in a nappy bag. So at least my game will smell nice. Right, so let's get into this bit. Disc. A few little light marks on it, but nothing obscure. Right, let's put that down. So I'm happy with the disc, and the manual is all present and complete, so I'm happy with that. And now because of the value of this, I just want to check the inlays are genuine. Because that's the worst part, is repro naffness. And I can tell if the rear inlay is repro or not just by looking there, because the perforations that are on the edges. Chaos Break. Yeah, I believe it's a horror game, is it? 3D adventure, real-time rendering. I could have sworn I thought this was a horror, but either way, the case is buggered. He did say the case was knackered. I'll just put a new one on it. I really don't care. A case is a case. But yeah, I'm super happy to get that because it's another one of these stupidly expensive games that CEX never have in stock. And then just because it's not in stock at CEX, people think they can charge double on eBay. Friggin' hate eBay. I'd be honest, on eBay, someone tried to scam me recently. I sold something and they said it weren't there when I had took pictures that I put it in there, but I didn't film it like a numpty. So he sent it me back, minus the item I sent him. So I told eBay that, and then for some reason eBay let him keep his money and let me keep the money. So eBay lost 30 quid. And yeah, I don't like eBay. It's almost as bad as Vinted these days, to be fair. But there we go. There's the rear of Chaos Break. Yeah, I will put this in a much better case, but everything else is immaculate, really, for my collection. I'm far from a mint collector because I actually play my stuff, not like some. So yeah, that is my last game, and I'm really happy. So let me just count up what my now total is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I've miscounted here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've got 1,012, which is not too bad. I'm going to write that down because I don't want to forget and have to count again. 1,012 PS1 games. Just another 394 to find, which is not bad. I'm getting there slowly but surely. And obviously my birthday and Christmas is coming soon, as well as the channel's first birthday. Not that that matters to anybody, but it does to me. I didn't really think I'd be doing this for that long. I still get nervous about talking to a camera even now, to be fair. But anyway, with that, that's it. I've got my target. I got where I wanted to be for the end of the year. We've still some time to go, so maybe we'll be able to get to 1,100 by end of year. Who knows? But anyway, thanks again, Donald, for the flat cap. I'm not quite sure it suits me. I think it makes my head look bigger than it already is, but we'll go with it. Yeah, so let me know in the comments about any games that I've shown here, if you know anything about some of the ones that I know nothing of, or if you just want to say hello. Just say hello in the comments. I'm quite a chatty guy. I'll always reply to every single one. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one, and have a good weekend, people.